Hello, and welcome to A Star to Steer Her By,
No, this is
a
my
movie
week.
phone podcast.
Get out of here, guest star.
Press 1 for summary.
Hello, this is A Star to Steer Her By. I'm just going to assume Chris is keeping all of that, because he usually does. We're on episode 108! Woo! This episode, we're covering the game and Unification, both 1 and 2, because splitting up two-parters is just mean to you all. Also, you're never going to remember what happened in the first one otherwise, because I almost didn't. As usual, I am Ames.
I am Caitlin.
I am Jake.
This is Chris.
And for some reason, I'm Justice again.
Back by popular demand.
That's right. The show 2 weeks ago was so popular.
Yeah, we didn't just record it.
You said you wanted more justice, and by glory, we got him.
We certainly did.
We did. We got him.
We
got
dragged
him
him away
balls.
from his wife and child to hang out with us.
You're welcome.
Oh,
Thank you.
I'm gonna clean your folds later, White Cat.
Gross.
Oh, God.
During that episode 2 weeks ago, we discovered that there were a bunch of wheat thins in my pocket that Seth had put there.
And you didn't even share them with us.
I know.
Real-
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you want me to fish the broken up wheat thins?
You know-
No, because I know your kid's
I like the
foot and
wheat
mouth,
thin.
and
I
I
think the
don't
wheat
want
thin's
it.
a good cracker.
He's also been farting on those wheat thins because they were in his back pocket.
Well, that's fine.
Farty wheat thins.
All right, summary, because this is getting weird.
Yeah, this is already a special episode.
I always thought I was more of a fall.
So let's talk about the game. In the game, we meet Etana Joel, a Katarian woman currently banging Riker on Ryza.
Butthead.
Yeah, she's got like some interesting makeup.
And goat eyes. Did you notice the goat eyes?
I
I
didn't
didn't
notice
notice
the
the
goat
goat
eyes.
Yeah,
eyes.
she had weird fucking
weird.
sideways
I can't
pupils. They were
see-
horrifying.
I can't see her in the poster well enough to see the eyes.
I'll
but-
pull it for you, Ames. You
Yeah,
go
do
on.
it. Yeah, she's kind of cool.
What's she called?
Etana Joel.
Etana Joel.
She gives Riker a new toy, and then she gives him a headset.
And then she gives him a head.
Oh,
A hand and hole.
yikes!
Oh,
In the
Jesus. When you search for her and just her forehead comes up, she looks like a dick.
Yeah, she's pretty well foreskin.
She must have.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I get really creeped out by creepy, weird eyes, so that's why I noticed it basically immediately.
She must be really great in the sack if Riker was so excited about
I mean,
it.
her
Riker's
whole
excited
face
about
looks like
everything.
a sack, so I'm assuming she's quite good at it.
When he was
Yeah.
on Ryza, I guarantee you that was not the weirdest thing he had sex with.
Wow, that's a person.
An actual goat.
No,
Jesus.
you understand. There were literally things. Like at one point, she's like, "Sir, that's your
I wonder
that's your
what'll
HVAC
happen.
unit." Oh, whatever.
No wonder it sucks so
He
good.
had to go to the ER to get a Horgon removed.
I was gonna say, I was wondering if he would have fucked a Horgong, so I'm
They'll find a
grateful
way.
that you.
He
and we
always
know
finds
it,
a
and
way.
we know it's Ryza
Just like life.
because they have a horrible ceiling fan.
This is true. Anyway, moving
Yes.
on. So Etana Joel gives Riker a new
STD.
video game.
Oh.
Well, after the STD, but
Oh, thank
before,
you.
during. A new video game system that causes all this pleasure that he's like, man, I'm really into this video game that I almost forgot I was in the middle of banging a woman. Meanwhile, back on the ship, he comes back from Ryza and decides, I'm just gonna give everybody this game because everybody's gonna enjoy the hell out of this game. Wesley's back on vacation from failing all of his classes. He totally wasn't expelled or anything. Maybe Wesley would like the game. Maybe LaForge would like the game, even though I'm not quite sure how it would work with the visor. But
Yeah.
whatever.
It does. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I'm sure it does. It's all fine. Everybody's into this game. Wesley hasn't played the game yet because he's in the middle of trying to get in with Robin Leffler, whom we met last week in Dathan. 2 weeks ago in Dathan. Nope, Darmok. She sprang out of Dathan.
When the walls fell.
And Wesley is, hitting it off with her. She's telling him all about her life as an ensign on the Enterprise and all her weird rules. Mostly no butt stuff, which is fine for her.
Yeah, whatever. She can do it, but I'm taking care of it.
So Wesley's got his new girlfriend, they're getting along, and everybody on the ship is suddenly playing this game. Literally everybody. Bev's playing it, and she really wants Wesley to play it, and every time Beverly's interested in something Wesley's doing that something's wrong with her. Like, usually she's taken over by a critter or something. She calls Data down to Medbay, saying, Data, I need you to do a thing for me that I totally could have done myself.
I need to open this can of pickles.
Yeah, you're so strong. Also, your dick is nice.
Wow.
But then she turns him off and fucks with all of his circuitry. Bev, that's not how you do any of that. So Data's out of commission, which is curious. Everyone's playing this game, and Wesley realizes, let's look into this game, Robin. This can be our weird foreplay that we have for each other, because we don't quite know how flirting works. So they look into the game, and they realize when you play the game plays you. It stimulates the pleasure side of the brain, and it turns off reasoning. It does something else.
It
impairs
has
your
an
reason.
addictive quality.
It's addictive, it's pleasurable, so it's basically any of the toys in Riker's room. And they say, wow, this could have a bad effect on the rest of the crew. We should tell Picard about this. So Wesley goes and says, hey, Picard, hey, Dad, Picard. We haven't talked in a while, so I assume that means, nothing's changed. This game might be a problem. Picard says, oh yeah, I'll look into it, and then starts playing the game himself.
No!
Picard, A2? Finally, everyone's trying to force the game on Wesley. Robin has been assimilated into the collective. And they all track Wesley down. They find him. They drag him out of the hallway where he's hiding in the Jeffries tubes. They force the game on him, but suddenly Data pops out of a sexy door. Sexily. And sexily shines a flashlight in everyone's faces that suddenly, unaddicts them from the game.
Well, it's because it was coming from his dick, so they became addicted to his dick, but unaddicted to that other garbage.
I'll take it.
That's so funny.
And Data admits, oh yeah, Wesley turned me back on. Ew.
Oh no.
The first time anyone has said that about Wesley, am I right?
Yikes. Especially Leffler. So I was able to come and, shine the light, and the rest of the ship is shining the lights. So when the Katarians pop up on the screen and say, haha, we've been the ones behind this all along, are you still underneath our video game spell from playing all that Pokemon Go? They say, we're no longer under your addiction spell. In fact, you're coming with us. And she says, oh no, foiled again by you punks and your dog.
You meddling kids.
Pokemon Go to the bridge.
I like it. And Unification is a two-parter, so this may be difficult, and there's a lot of fucking
just
characters.
Blast through.
I'm gonna
We'd
blast
love
through.
to tell you it all turns out to be one good giant episode, but
There's a lot of good ideas and good parts of it, but I think it could have been one episode, so let's treat it like one.
Take it quick.
So, Picard learns that Spock has vanished and has been spied on Romulus, and they think, oh no, he might be defecting to Romulus. Damn it, Spock! So they go visit Sarek, who's still dying of Bendy syndrome.
Bendy system is one of the many failed mid-90s consoles. New, the Bendy system.
So Sarek, mid-dying, tells Picard, oh yeah, he may have gone to Romulus to visit with his friend Pardek. Maybe that's something? So they say, okay, yeah, we're going to look into this and go to Romulus, disguise ourselves as Romulans. So Picard and Data get to disguise themselves in sexy new costumes. Everything's sexy this week.
Let's disguise ourselves as Romulans, but then be really unsubtle about everything we do on Romulus anyway.
Including stroking our beard.
We are such bad spies.
They're pretty bad at
They
spying.
hitch a ride with Jimmy James.
They do.
Who?
That's right.
Jimmy James.
Stephen Root.
Stephen Root.
I don't know who any of these people
News
are.
Radio.
Bubbles
I don't
from...
The Man in the High Castle.
Which
The Man in the High
one?
Castle?
The Man in the High Castle.
Oh, sure. Anyway, they hitch a ride with the Klingons so that they can have some cloaking technology to get to Romulus. They beam down dressed as Romulans, and they're looking around. This whole episode is about leaving your soup or other food in the restaurant without having eaten it first. Picard, wasteful. And then they're suddenly captured by some various Romulans, and they're like, oh no, Pardek's got us instead of us going to him? What just happened? And then Spock walks in and says, haha, I've been here the whole time, and nothing is as it seems. End part 1. everyone at home is like, what is going on with Spock?
Also, there's a ship thing.
Oh, yeah, the bits
also,
of ship.
also, there's a side plot that takes up way too much time and could have been
missing
entirely
ship.
cut.
Mystery.
A ship that got taken out of its
Entirely pointless
wintering
plot.
garage
Something's
for some
missing
reason.
from the dump.
Literally what they say.
I have taken careful note of every fucking paper clip and post-it note in this fucking thing, and then he's like, "Fuck, your ship's gone."
See my droopy scrotal cheeks?
Aww.
I bet his scrotum looks great.
Meanwhile,
Very tight.
okay, we're almost done.
Not a wrinkle.
We're actually
Really
making good
smooth.
time, considering this is a three-part episode. In part 2 of Unification, we pop in. Spock is telling us that, I'm actually here on Romulus because I'm trying to make peace so that Romulus and Vulcan can unify.
Yeah.
Bad idea. Whatever, Spock.
Well,
it's probably cool.
Reunify.
Yes. Meanwhile, Picard has to tell Spock that his dad died. Spock blinks and says, okay. And that's about all we get out of that.
Well, no, not even. Jean-Luc Picard's like, I gotta tell you something, and Spock's like, oh yeah, Sarek's dead?
Yeah.
He was touched
Acknowledged.
by it. He spocked it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. I will sign that I have received this letter.
Meanwhile, oh god, this one gets kind of complicated. We eventually learned that Pardek, the Romulan senator, and the other one, there's too many fucking names.
There's
in
the
this.
proconsul.
Yeah, the proconsul Nirol are actually siding with Sela. Denise Crosby. Basically Denise Crosby. Because she's around again. For the last time?
Tasha
Probably.
Nar.
Oh,
Yeah, the proconsul with his
the
like
most
weird...
underbite.
My underbite.
Yeah.
My evil underbite.
So they've been with Sela the whole time. They kidnap Spock, Picard, and Data and lock them in a room. They're cool with it though because they've broken in their computer systems and can just hack it anyway. So they're like, whatever, this is like nothing.
They start watching their porn.
Yeah. So Sela in the
Deus
meantime
Ex
is
hologram.
trying to put together an engagement. Wow. An engagement party. No. Invasion. Please.
An invasion party.
I mean, they are trying to marry
It
Romulan
doesn't
and Vulcan
make
culture.
any
Yeah.
fucking sense, but
No.
we'll get to that.
Yeah. So she's trying to get her
Unite through force rather than through unity.
Yeah, she's trying to get those Vulcan ships that were,
Why would they be
stolen.
buying Vulcan
We'll
ships?
get to that! Oh my god! She steals some Vulcan ships. She's trying to bring them to Vulcan so that she can wind her way in and take over Vulcan for reasons we'll discuss later in the episode. Nonsensical reasons. But Spock, having, broken into the computer system, sends out a warning saying, hey, there's an invasion fleet on the way. Don't trust these ships. Maybe commandeer them? Just a suggestion, shrug. So they do, and everyone's okay.
Yay!
Sarek's still dead.
Except the invaders who were blown up by their own people.
Yay!
Was
Romulans.
Denise Crosby on one of those ships? Is that why we don't never see her again?
No,
She was back at home.
Spock
That
neck
bitch.
pinched her.
Yeah, she took a nap on the floor.
Oh yeah.
No!
Data
neck pinched her, yeah.
And Spock was like, not bad.
Not too shabby there.
Yeah.
I love Spock. Spock and Data.
Fan service.
I want Data and Spock to go on adventures together.
Aww.
They would be so great. Everything would be
And
fascinating.
they can bring McCoy.
It's a little late for that.
I know.
So the Jame.
John.
Yes.
All right, let's talk about Ashley Judd.
I'm not impressed.
I love Ashley Judd.
I don't think I've seen her in anything that I've been like, oh, I'll remember your fucking name.
Yeah, she's kind of been in a lot of crappy movies.
She's been in a lot of crappy movies.
Did
But I
I,
love
tell
Ashley
you, did I ever
Judd.
told you about the time I met her and I didn't even know it?
I have not heard this story.
Tell this story.
She came to a place where I worked to request a document, and I had no idea who the fuck she was, and she starts telling me about, I just had this great idea for a movie, and her idea was, what if a guy wanted to go to law school but couldn't afford law school, so instead, he starts working at the law library to learn law that way, and then, takes the bar even though he hasn't got a degree and yada yada yada, and I am sitting there barely paying any attention, and I'm just like, you're literally a crazy person, this is a terrible idea.
It sounds like a bad movie.
It does. And I said, oh yeah, totally, I would go see that movie, but in my head it was like, what is this, Goodwill Hunting 2.
What about a guy that
How
how about a movie about a guy that can't afford to go to college but wants to get a affirmative action scholarship?
No. Is this the Elizabeth Warren story? Or...
No!
This is Soul Man.
I know what it is. I knew
saw-
what he was talking about, but I still think that that's
okay, so let's speak
fucked up.
since you brought up Elizabeth Warren, who I love. And
I also love
and
Elizabeth Warren.
I proudly voted for.
But I don't
But I
love
will.
that
But I
she
do.
was fucking Native
But I
American.
do find that whole thing to be a little hilarious. But I think that the Pocahontas stuff is really in poor taste. But I did see one on Facebook that made me giggle in how stupid it was. Liawatha.
God, I hate the right. So I will say justice to your point. I
Ashley
think
Judd is great.
Ashley Judd was, like throughout most of the episodes, like, wow, you're good. You're acting like you actually are interested in Wesley Crusher, which is really hard.
She has the only civilian clothes that don't suck.
Yeah. But there was one moment where, like, a ball was dropped, where Wesley is like,
You mean when Wesley finally became a man?
everyone's addicted except us. And like go back and watch that clip. Her expression does not change. It's like, did they forget to say action?
She was probably trying so hard not to laugh. It's such a lame line.
But it really was. It did feel like they forgot to get a reaction shot from her, but didn't have anything else to put there.
I imagine being on the receiving end of that line. That's too bad.
Like, her eyes didn't even go a little wide. I was like, who dropped the ball here? Was it the director? Like, what happened? Aside from that, though, I thought she was.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, again, it was whoever wrote that fucking horrible line. That's who dropped the ball. Like, you can't blame Ashley Judd for that.
But yeah, like, she's the only one of Wes's ladies that has any chemistry with him.
Oh, that's true. She does have some good...
She seemed like she could have been a really interesting character. I'm sad this is the last we ever see her.
Yeah, after having seen her in another episode earlier, that we thought maybe a continuing character.
She could have been a better attempt at what's her name?
The
Garcia?
No,
it was like a stereotypical Latina name.
Oh, that bit.
Well, I feel even worse.
the one that the one that Barkley was the better version of.
Yes.
Martinez?
Let's just keep guessing his name.
Yes. Anyway,
that won't be racist at all.
No. Anyway, yeah. I don't know if I was very taken with not Naomi Judd, the other one, Ashley Judd.
Yes, this is confusing.
Yes, with Ashley Judd's character, because that whole scene that's just her and Wesley saying, "Oh, let's plug the thing into the thing. Look at that, the brain's doing this. Oh, what do you make of that? I don't know. Let's try this other thing." It was just so fucking dumb and badly acted.
But see, that's why they're
not her fault for that at all. I would say. I would say she did better with that than I would say the majority of other female guest stars would have done.
Or Will Wheaton.
Also, that's their foreplay.
Yeah, no,
don't yuck their yum. They were getting all heated up with that.
That is them getting aroused and like, oh my god, it's finally someone who's as big a dork as I am.
And hey, that was a relatively believable looking kiss.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Not believable were the horrible orgasm noises they were both making.
Literally everybody gets to make in this episode. Everybody gets to make an orgasm.
I really like I
Is that how you come?
It's like
Don't
dust
you have a
coming
kid?
out. It's
I assume you have at some point.
So are we assuming? Because
Amy's very upset right now.
Sorry, Amy.
I know it's a joke, but are we considering that the effect of the game actually you do actually physically orgasm?
No, because everyone's pants were dry.
Yeah.
Oh, the dry pants.
That is not how most people.
I think in the future everyone has super absorbent underwear. That's why
I was
there's no
gonna say
bathrooms.
I don't think the dry pants has anything to do with it. They got
the chairs were soaking.
Here's the thing. I think based on the response that most people were giving, because it sounds not quite like an orgasm. It sounds maybe like they're getting pleasure. It sounds like a really nice fart.
I don't know.
Or when you've held your pee for a long time.
Oh, yeah,
that's the best feeling, right?
Bev was definitely making an O face at one point.
Oh, that's just your face.
And Wesley had this. Wow.
And then, there's a weird scene where Bev is like totally twiddling the thing. And,
yikes!
Twiddling the thing.
And, she's she's having a great old time. And then Wesley walks in and she's like, "Oh, Wesley, I got this for you, but I had to use it myself."
I hope she at least put it through the dishwasher first.
It does look dishwasher safe.
Mm-hmm. It might short out.
This episode is
creepy.
It's terrible, but it might be one of those, like, amusingly terrible.
It is.
Oh, it's
I
definitely
agree.
that.
Makes
Yeah.
this one
This
terrible because I don't think this one's terrible.
It's not
It's
great.
pitiful
is-
because it has Will Wheaton in
It
it.
is, yeah,
Poor
like,
Will
of
Wheaton.
all the like Wesley focused episodes where they tend to be pretty bad, this is so much fun and bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fine.
The bad.
It's so ridiculous.
It's
though.
really ridiculous.
No, it makes. I mean,
Banging PS1 graphics.
well,
Oh my
yeah,
God.
that was some stupid shit. But like,
Yeah, what was the game they're actually playing?
You're just gonna get the ball
Throw
in the
some
hoop.
discs
I think
in.
that the
How could that be addicting?
it
See,
wasn't the game. It was addicting
was-
because it was fucking with your brain.
Yeah.
I know.
It's basically
She says
like
actively playing video games.
Yeah, but
right
this is
now.
not tossing a hoop, and honestly, this is just keeping my fingers busy, so I don't masturbate at the
during
table.
podcast.
Thank you for that.
Oh, I
You're welcome.
always have that problem.
No, it's just I haven't had my ADHD medication in a while, and this is really helping me focus. Honestly, that's
But see, that's the thing
honestly
is, you
true.
know, every asshole in the world has to have a take like, oh, they predicted mobile gaming. Like, no, they fucking didn't.
Yeah, exactly.
Mobile gaming, yes, it is designed to, like, prey upon certain, like, you know, reward impulses in the brain, but it doesn't literally rewire your whole frontal cortex.
Yeah.
Shut up. You're not
Yet.
clever. You're not the first person that thought of it. Stop patting yourself on the
Somebody
back.
was the first person that thought it.
Yeah, but they're not listening to this.
But I don't know. I kind of like the idea of this episode a lot because it's it's an alien race.
It's Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Yeah, it's Invasion of the Body Snatchers, and they want to basically completely take over.
Yeah, no, I mean, the thing is, their plan is fascinating, but the episode itself is just so, like, again, it's a lot of people walking around going, ooh, ee.
Yeah.
And again, you do legit have, like, to watch Will Wheaton and Ashley Judd, like, making horrible noises on a bed. You have to watch, and this is before the game is even on her, but you have to watch Troy basically orgasm over a sundae.
Oh my god, her talking.
right.
First, you have to run your spoon around the rim.
Whoever wrote that scene should be brought before the Hague as a war criminal. Because that was so horrible
I
and
was
uncomfortable.
really uncomfortable. with
But at
that
least she
scene.
finally got her fucking
Yeah.
Sunday.
That's true.
I wrote that she's kind of a serial killer, but for chocolate.
Yeah, what's
And what the
wonderful...
fuck is wrong with Riker? He doesn't like fudge.
Right, yes,
That's
seriously?
true.
Asshole.
What's wonderful bad about this episode isn't necessarily the plot, but the execution.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's just, it's so ludicrous.
Yeah, like... Oh my god.
Move, bitch. Get out the way.
Wait, was that Ludacris? I thought Ludacris did What's Your Fantasy. Did he
He
do
did.
both? Did he have more than one song?
He had a whole
course he
bunch of
did.
songs.
I know,
Yeah.
I'm joking, but the only one I know is What's Your Fantasy. I also know Move Bitch.
It's a great song.
It is a good song.
But yeah, it does feel like kind of Invasion of Body Snatchers. Like, I mean, you know, it's a bit better than that, but I'm like, it is sort of Star Trek does be sci-fi invasion.
It's
Yeah.
also sort of like Star Trek does Dallas.
Yikes.
Oh.
You know, the
Gunshot
TV show
JR.
Dallas.
Wait, I missed that. What?
We both
both
made the
made
same
joke.
joke about Dallas, the TV show.
Ah.
Yeah. His was a better joke.
But you know what was
Good joke, Jake.
yeah. No, you know what? This predates it, but you know what this reminded me a lot of was the Faculty.
Oh, yeah.
I've never seen
The
it. All I
Elijah
know
Wood
is
film.
It was
I've heard
Usher,
of it.
too. Usher was
Yes.
in it. Usher Raymond.
was in it.
Jon
Josh
Stewart.
Hartnett.
Yes,
Josh Hartnett.
I only know Jon Stewart
Young,
was in it
sexy Josh
because,
Hartnett.
like, it's one of those things that whenever people bring it up, he just looks so embarrassed and will
I like
talk
that movie.
ill
They
about
had
the
to
movie
use
for 5
cocaine
minutes.
to discover who were aliens.
Yeah.
Wait, so how?
Really?
How
I've
did
never
they-
seen it. So.
I haven't
I've
either.
only seen parts of it, actually.
I've seen the whole movie.
Pretty
It's
fun.
a fun movie. It's basic. The premise of the movie is basically aliens are trying to invade Earth, and they do it by taking over, like replacing the teachers at a school, and then eventually the students. And then there's a group of students, including the aforementioned actors, who
Wise up.
wise up and try to take it out, and then they find out that the one of them is actually like the queen alien.
Ooh,
Bum,
sneaky.
bum, bum.
It's all
Spoiler
it's
much.
all a metaphor about how the liberals indoctrinate your children in the education system.
That sounds right.
They're turning the friggin' frogs gay.
But it reminded me.
Alex
You didn't
That's
hear
an
about
Alex
the gay
Jones
frogs?
thing.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's why he can't be on Twitter anymore.
Yep.
Also, all the racist shit.
Well, there's that too.
No, that's fine. It's just when you talk about
that's what Twitter's
gay
for.
amphibians, you've gone too far.
Yes.
I did sort of want, when Riker was all like, I want you to try something that's better than chocolate. I really think the scene would have improved if Troy screamed, there's nothing better than chocolate, you whore, and just rammed the spoon into his eye.
Yeah.
Conversely, she's like, I've had that before. It's not better than chocolate.
Nice. We should have written Troy.
Yeah.
Just we could have fixed that character.
Sex.
Better than chocolate?
Oh, also, here's the thing. Here's the thing that I think is super important that is buried in this episode. Worf bakes.
Right.
What? Did I miss this?
Yeah, when they had their
Oh, yeah,
little
he made a cake for
Yeah, when they had their
Wesley.
surprise welcome.
That's
it's like,
right.
I baked it myself. And no one stops and goes, I'm sorry, what? Because you know what I want.
I'm sorry.
There's a knife in here, right? There's a knife in here.
Are
I'm
you
not
going to be
escaping
the
from
one
prison.
who's like, did you hear that? Worf bakes?
No,
Because
they
he
don't-
would break your fucking everything.
They don't have to laugh, but literally not one person kind of stops and goes,
Yeah,
"Worf,
that's because they're all a better friend to Worf than you. They already knew about his passion
like, I
projects,
want
okay?
an episode
Jeez.
that is literally just the time Worf learned to bake. I bet Guinan taught him. I bet it's a great episode. I'm sad we didn't get it.
Captain, permission to leave the bridge. I have home economics.
Like, seriously. So we know that he makes,
Probably
like...
also taught by Bev, though. I feel like Bev teaches all the extracurricular classes.
Yeah, she doesn't have a lot to do.
Ship
Tyson
models.
teach the fighting class.
True. He makes little ship models in his spare time. You'll learn that one episode.
O'Brien?
Worf. We actually see him making a model
He
once.
shoves it into
that's
the,
right,
the
sorry.
drawer when
O'Brien-
somebody walks in.
O'Brien-
You didn't see me
makes
playing with my
ships
ships.
in a bottle.
Yes.
I didn't see you playing with your dolls again, sir.
Yeah. So we know that Worf makes little models. We know that he apparently bakes. Like, there are depths to Worf that I want to see more of. But
He
whenever
enjoys a good tea.
Yeah.
And prune
And
juice.
a nice house.
like the problem is, most of the depths of Worf are mostly around like the Klingon political stuff, which is
Brown Eye
great.
area?
Don't get me wrong, but I legit just kind of wish there was the episode like Mr. Worf learns how to make cake, and that's the whole episode.
Mr. Worf's Wild Ride.
The conflict is, oh God, did I use too much yeast?
Answer?
Yikes.
Probably.
Well, I'll let you write that short story / children's
Dude, I
book.
want that fanfic. Write that fanfic. This is what the people want. And also, pictures of Spider-Man.
Good job.
Thank you. I tried.
Yeah.
I want to talk about Wesley at the academy a little bit because I thought some things were hilarious. He talks about how awkward it was at the Sadie Hawkins dance.
Which, okay,
Because he kept getting a boner, guys.
how are there still
Obvious.
Sadie Hawkins dances in the 24th
At
Because
century?
feminism.
At fucking college too. Like
Another thing, it's like, surely by the 24th century, it's not considered like, oh, look, it's wacky fun, the girls ask the boys out. By then, it should just be normal.
This
yeah,
is the
but
same
it's a
episode where we
tradition,
have
though,
a
isn't
chocolate
it?
orgasm.
I know. This show is not very progressive on women's issues.
Yeah, I mean, Data even says, "Oh yeah, it was awkward for me," and I'm thinking, yeah, because the women just lined up for you.
Yeah.
Having to break all those hearts was devastating for me.
Oh, it took all night, and my tongue was sore by the
I have
end.
already agreed to go with the
Whoa!
blender.
What?
I have already agreed to go with the blender.
And Picard etched AF into a tree and pissed off Boothby, and I wrote AF stands for a fish.
For me, he's like, what does AF stand for? And I was like, as fuck, Wesley. You fucking idiot.
He was just so angry about his anal fissure.
Ooh.
That makes me think of something that would happen in
Carve another
Brooklyn
string.
Nine-Nine or something.
A fish. Now, do we actually... I know we eventually...
Livingston A. Fish.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
Now, I can't remember. I know we do see Boothby, but does that not happen until DS9 or Voyager
No,
or
we
something?
see him in the first duty,
Oh, okay.
which is also the next
Duty.
time we see Wesley.
What's a who?
Boothby is
the
guy-
groundskeeper?
Yeah, that
Patrick
Groundskeeper
Stewart
Boothby.
was
Which-
in love with.
He's a Scottish.
no,
He's Scottish.
he's a Martian.
That's it, just a Scottish.
Is he a Martian?
He's played by the same actor who was the Martian in My Favorite Martian. The TV show, not the movie.
Wait a minute,
Yeah, that guy.
the guy who's in Damn Yankees as Satan.
Yes, he's Boothby.
I fucking love him. I can't wait.
Yeah.
He does not look like a groundskeeper.
He does in this.
He is like, yeah, but he's so thin and
Yeah, it's fine. It works.
fragile.
Sorry, anyway, Boothby aside.
I can't wait. When does that happen? How long do I have
Couple
to wait
weeks.
till I get... Yay! Okay, I'm really excited. Sorry.
Okay, good.
That over.
I'm done. We can move on.
Fun over.
The fun's just beginning.
Well, actually, you know what
That
else he
game
was?
does
He
not
was
look fun.
he was Mr. Head, maybe in Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Okay.
That's another way you might
so
as well
but Wesley in the Academy.
Yeah.
Do they not have holodecks at the Academy?
Why?
Because at one point I was like, I'm sure you want to do this and that and spend some time on the holodeck, but would you like to help us with this instead?
Well, yeah, they do, but they have like safe search on, so you can't just like fuck everything in it.
Also, why? Why is it possible to program a sonic shower to shoot mud? And why is it possible to make it so that some sort of whatever device can fire chili? That shouldn't be possible.
Science!
Because also, what dumbass pranks, too?
Yeah.
This it should be like, I turned his balls red or something. like, that's a real college prank.
sexual
Why? Because
harassment.
he was wearing lipstick when they were fooling around, or what?
But, like, seriously, just
I
like...
programmed the sonic shower to remove all of his ass hair. I don't know.
That sounds like a great
Bleached
thing.
his asshole.
Whoa! I want this setting for my song.
That setting's built in,
Yeah,
actually.
like-
That's not a prank.
I don't want to have to go to a person anymore.
I've actually been looking for a new guy. Can I get their number?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Oh my god,
Nice.
why?
Because I don't like having hair there, Caitlin.
No,
That's why.
Who can? Listen,
So-
that's fine.
So
I feel
also, I'm sorry, but
You should be.
fuck you, Star Trek.
Whoa.
Fuck you.
Whoa.
People aren't still learning Latin in the 24th century.
Yeah, no,
Go to
They
hell.
don't even speak French.
Picard
Exactly.
knows
No
all the
shit.
dead languages.
French is a dead language, but not Latin.
But it sounds like they still offer it at the Academy because him
Ah.
and Wesley converse for a second.
Latin is an undead language,
Because here's the thing.
and zombies
Here's the
are
thing,
still
because
popular in the 24th
Latin
century.
And learning Latin is shorthand for scholarly because it's a language that
You're right.
nobody speaks.
For a reason.
So if you go out of your way to learn it, you must be really into learning.
No,
shit.
you're
Or
right.
just a
That's
douchebag.
That's exactly what it
The
is.
thing is, no one speaks it, so no one can correct you when you're saying it wrong.
True.
So they can just say whatever they want.
It would be funny if the scene, instead of whatever he said, he was like Ixnay on the Angspray.
It should have been Esperanto.
Ehave Bay.
Oh god, so you know what I loved?
Also, why doesn't the Universal Translator pick up Latin?
Because it's a dead ass language, nobody speaks it.
It's too busy.
But if they had done it for a while longer,
You know what it
would've
is? The computer was like, well, I'm out of room for languages. I gotta delete one to learn this Darmok language. Fuck it, we're getting rid of Latin.
And then it deleted French
Fuck
just
off,
for
French.
So, I love that, for his date, Wes is like, finally, I can stop wearing this dumb uniform and get right back into an
My
ugly
sweater.
goddamn sweater.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
if you look
It
at
was pretty bad.
my list on the Tumblr, if you haven't yet, if you have, go back and look at it again. I have all of Wesley's sweaters ranked. This is one of the lesser offenders. at
It
least.
is, but it is still like...
Well, keep in mind that the worst one he gave to Geordie before he left.
Yes.
So that he could make
Chrissy.
J.J. Abrams really
Well,
uncomfortable.
Chrissy's also into ugly sweaters.
No, the other one, though, Abram.
Oh, Leah Brahms.
Brahms, that's it.
J.J. Abrams.
I know her name isn't J.J. Abrams, but I always think
I
her
know.
last name is Abrams, so it's sort of like how, remember when I couldn't remember Mark Ruffalo's name, so I just called him the guy that sounds like Janine Garofalo, and
Yeah,
people
yeah.
understood what I was talking about?
Yeah.
Buffalo.
It's like that.
Yeah.
Buffalo.
Yes.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. So, the game.
I did think it was
game.
fun. I thought it was a fun episode.
It's a lot of fun
Yeah,
to
it's
watch.
interesting.
Can we get they pulled out a trope in this episode that I didn't care for.
Which one?
Which is that it is cute and endearing when a freewheeling woman throws your property out the window.
You don't,
I
like,
can't-
fuck.
you don't like when I do that?
But also,
No.
he didn't think it was funny. He was bullshit. He's like,
He
I can't
was,
believe you
but
just
then
did that.
but then
But
he
then
was like,
his-
"Oh, I'm just gonna fuck."
Oh,
His penis
dem
took
tits.
over.
I would throw any of my stuff out the window to slip it in if I were Wesley.
No, it was Riker. Riker
Oh,
did
Riker,
it.
that's
Yeah, the
right.
On Ryza.
Oh,
What's
right,
her
I
face?
forgot
She
about
threw
that.
it
Yeah, no,
back.
if
No, I would definitely not accept that from her.
Leffler
I
drew,
just like smack her on her scrotum face.
Oh my god.
if
Nip
Leffler
the
if Leffler threw something out the window, the ship would have depressurized.
That's right. Boy, what an arm on her.
I don't know. I think
It's so funny when women depressurize spaceships and kill
Data just
everyone.
beamed his brother into space.
True. I don't know. I think that would go against one of Robin's many rules.
Laws.
Oh,
Leffler's
Laws.
laws.
Yes.
Laws.
Laws of
Laws.
Oh,
laws.
what
Yeah.
another fucking trope.
That's pretty annoying.
That
That
was
was
like
so
that was
annoying.
some,
Guys, she was so quirky and
that was
funny
some
and
manic
cute.
pixie dream girl shit
No.
there.
Oh god, is she the
Shit.
original one?
She
I
might
doubt
be.
it.
Like,
It was the 90s. I'm sure there had been somebody before that.
like,
in the 80s
oh, I
or
have some
something.
rules. Ah, cool.
And then she gives him like a desk calendar of them at the end.
But like, also though, like I expected it to be stuff like Avogadro's number, not like fucking.
What's that?
If at first, it's isn't that a thing? Am I thinking of the right thing?
Avogadro's number is it's the mole, I think. I don't remember.
I don't know.
It's
what
some
the
math
Something in
thing. My
chemistry,
point is,
but
I
I don't
expected it
remember
to be
what.
some kind of physics or math thing, and it wasn't. It was just like, if at first you don't succeed, try again. And it's like, this is not. You're stupid. Those are not hard rules to remember. Why did you need to number them? You're dumb.
It might be like the number of atoms or
Because
molecules that fits into a liter.
Yeah, because she
Rule
moved
number
it-
47. If you need to lick it, it's not wet enough.
Avogadro's number. Why was
Yep.
There's so many applications.
Avogadro's number of units in 1 mole of any substance,
Hey,
defined
you
as
know
its molecular weight in grams, equal to 6.022140857 by 10 to the 23rd power. The units may be electrons, atoms, ions, or molecules, depending on the nature of the substance and the character of the reaction, if any.
It sounds like how many Skittles I need to eat to have eaten the entire bag of Skittles.
I took
Yes.
chemistry over 15 years ago. Why do I remember Avogadro's number exists? Never mind its application at all.
Anyway, I still think that I'm just going to call her Ashley Judd because I keep forgetting her damn name. Has too many rules.
Leffler.
Leffler's laws that she
Ooh,
would not
that sounds
remember
good,
all
though.
of them. There's
Leffler,
102
I
of them.
know.
Well, that's how
she's
she
a
remembers
genius.
them. That's how she remembers the names.
She's
She numbers
dating
them.
Wesley.
She put them into a fucking desk calendar for Wesley.
I think it was like a Rolodex.
It was the 90s. It was kind of sad. It's like, yeah, basically my parents ignored me and I'm sad.
Yeah.
So I don't know what love is, which is why I think I love you.
I want to know what love is.
Yeah.
And then Data pops in, love is a chemical reaction in the brain, blah, 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 blah.
Data knows what love is because he had Yar.
No, apparently he forgot all the fuck about Yar. and
Yar's
we'll talk about that in a
revenge.
little bit.
Yes, Data. As we discussed, Kate was saying, oh yeah, Deus Ex Machina Data. No, Machina Ex Machina.
He did say that, and it was
I
brilliant.
thought it was clever, so I wanted to say it on the air.
It was clever. I thought it was really good.
All
Well done.
right.
He had a good collapse when they turned him off. Too.
Oh my god, yes!
I always love those.
Like a fucking pile of
He's
bricks.
done
he was.
so many at this point. Like, he's just the master of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they tried to make Leffler a character, going back to the Leffler thing we were talking about. They tried maybe too hard to make her a character, and it didn't work, and that's maybe why we never see her again.
Well, you know what they say.
Try.
No,
Try
damn
again?
it. No, I was gonna say it doesn't work.
If you have to lick it, it's not wet enough.
I was gonna say Leffler. I was trying to say less is more, but I was gonna say
Leffler is more.
But I was going to say more is Leffler, and then I was like, wait, that doesn't make any sense. I mean, it already does not make sense, but it really didn't make sense then, so I apologize. Shaka.
So Unification 1 and 2.
Oh, I hate this episode so much that I refuse to speak about it. Good day to you.
Wait, Justice, come back!
Bye, Justice.
No, okay, bye.
Bye, bye, bye.
Bye. Say hi to wifey and small child.
All right. Now that all the scary people are gone.
Scary people.
I'm still here.
Oh.
So, a note I had on Unification.
Yeah.
Was this a good episode, or was it just fan wank?
Yes.
Here's
It
the thing,
was
here's
a
the thing.
wank.
I think if it were one episode, it would be a good episode. I think as a two-parter, that did a very large disservice because they had to stretch out a lot of bullshit.
Yeah.
Like all of the B plot of Riker going to the junkyard and and them going to the planet and meeting the four-armed woman. And
No, she was
and
kind of cool, though.
She was cool.
She knew,
wasn't
she knew Klingon opera.
Yeah, like, I enjoyed her scenes. I wish they'd put them in a better episode.
Exactly, yeah. Meeting the fat Ferengi. It's like, I don't need any of this because
No.
the only point of it is to get 2 Vulcan ships to Sela, and that's it. And she didn't even need 2 Vulcan ships, as Jake will complain about at some point later, I'm sure.
Let me tell you what I hate about this episode.
All of it?
It.
Yikes.
No, what I don't
No,
like...
I love
what
Sarek and
what-
Spock.
Yeah, I like that stuff. What I don't like is that they're trying to make... You know, we have way too many Mean Girls references on this podcast.
It could be a meme girl.
I think they've all been today.
I really
we
need
had,
to
we had, I think we had one last
see
week,
that
too.
movie.
Oh, right. The girl who checks the weather with her
with her-
tits.
Yeah. In this case, I'm going to say they keep trying to make Sela a thing, and it's not happening.
Sela is
Stop
fetch.
trying to make fetch a thing.
And here's the funny thing. This is the last we see of Sela.
Thank
And
God.
I feel like it's really anticlimactic.
Sela,
You know what it
they
is?
want to be ya.
You know what it is? Data can't actually do the Vulcan nerve pinch. It just turns out that
He killed her?
He just crushed her throat.
like he pulled on the he squished her shoulder so hard it somehow caused her larynx to collapse.
That seems right, yeah.
Spock didn't have the heart to break it to him.
Well, it was actually,
Oh, bitch is dead.
in fact, it was actually a Tal Shia thing. He didn't even know he was trying to do a fucking neck pinch because he was so good at the Tal Shia stuff.
Yeah.
But no, I don't know. I think Sela did not need to show up in this episode. She does not have.
She didn't need to be a character
her
at
plot
all.
Her plot is just so the whole Romulan plan is just so fucking stupid and mustache twirlingly evil.
Why do they want to invade Vulcan in the first place?
Because
they're
they're
peaceful.
evil.
They're peaceful smarmy pantses.
It's probably
We're back.
It's probably deep enough in Federation space that it's a good foothold for a launching point for other operations.
But here's the thing: the unless they. Okay, first of all, no one's taking over any planet with 2,000 guys.
Yeah, Vulcan.
No, you couldn't take Vulcan with
You
2,000
couldn't.
guys.
You couldn't take a fucking city block.
You
with
couldn't take
2,000
the Miri
guys.
kids with 2,000 guys.
You know,
No.
It's
You know what? No. Actually, the Romulans would have just fucking shot those kids and bless them.
It takes 25,000 troops to secure the border from some women and children. Okay, it's not 2,000 guys are not taking over Vulcan.
Hi, Black Cat. That's weird. You're not usually friendly
He's
to
often
me.
here.
He's a cat.
Often
Point
here,
is,
son.
He is often a
that
cat.
plan was bad, and they should feel bad.
Okay, do you know what I hate about this episode?
What?
Plenty.
I hate that we used this piece of shit to kill off Sarek.
Yeah.
Mark
Speaking
Leonard.
of fucking disservices.
Mark Leonard did so well in his scenes, though.
did.
He was
really
wonderful,
great.
but like, wouldn't it have been nice if he like died for a good reason?
I mean, honestly, I think they should have left Sarek where they left him before.
Just dying?
No, just like not brought him up again. in
yeah,
the show.
I would have preferred to have remembered the Sarek I knew, not
But see, that's what's
seeing
great.
him in the throes of sad.
That's what's
death
amazing,
shit.
because you so rarely see that with fictional
Yeah,
characters.
but I didn't need to see it with Sarek.
Like, you don't usually if characters in fiction, they either go out in a blaze of glory, or we just kind of don't really hear from them, they just sort of go away. Like, no, we actually got, like, a big part of this guy's, like, sort of arc. We've seen him at various points in his life. The thing that was sad to me was that it sounds like him and Spock kind of had another falling out.
That I found interesting, actually, because anytime they were talking about, the arguments that they've had, and apparently they disagreed about the Cardassian War, and I'm really curious who was on what side.
I'm guessing Spock was against the war.
Oh, maybe it wasn't so much, like, the war itself, but how they dealt with it.
Well, I'm guessing, yeah.
'Cause I still don't know enough about the
Because
Cardassian War.
I can imagine Spock being like, "No, we should be helping the Bajorans because that's the right thing to do," and Sarek being like, "It is illogical to violate the Prime Directive."
Yeah.
I don't know. Spock does love. It's true. He does love breaking the Prime Directive. So there's that. He got that from Kirk.
Yeah. Cowboy diplomacy.
Yeah, and there was
Yes,
an
he's a
awful lot
cowboy
of
diplomacy from that cowboy episode.
references. Oh, you're as stubborn as another captain of the Enterprise. Wank, wank.
Just say
Yeah,
Kirk.
seriously.
Which
Like,
is like-
we all know what you're talking about. No need to fucking wink, know what I mean.
And then they obviously because this episode was released to coincide with and promote Star Trek VI, they make direct mention of
And it's foreshadowing because 6 came out after this, which is kind of funny. So they're making references that you don't even know yet.
Yeah, but obviously they're trying to, ooh, Spock. Oh, he's in the new movie. Oh, we should go watch the new movie.
Ooh, they just said some shit that doesn't fall into my understanding of the canon. Dude, I want to rewatch Undiscovered Country now.
We should. It's good.
Can we go home and watch that shit when we're done?
Yeah,
Or like
maybe.
fun discovered cunt.
In fact, I know that there was a lot of talk about whether they could get Nimoy on the show because he's very expensive. And apparently his price was so high that they had to negotiate him way, way down and say, okay, we're going to give you much less money that you're asking for, but we're going to call this a way of cross-promoting with 6.
We're going to give you way less money, but we're also going to ask you to be on set for a lot longer than usual because it's a 2-parter.
How
Who loses
But he
here?
wasn't in a ton of scenes. But how fucking expensive is Nimoy? He was on goddamn In Search Of.
He was on Columbo at least
He couldn't
once.
be that.
He was on Fringe.
In Search Of was a great show.
You're joking, right?
I mean, I haven't seen it since I was like 10.
Oh,
so.
it's a fucking shit show.
No, wait, I'm thinking of Connections. Sorry, never mind.
In
I have
search,
no
in search
idea
of was the
which-
fucking
what either of those shows
pseudoscience
are.
bullshit.
Yeah.
Aliens are real.
Yeah, no, I was thinking of
Nonsense.
Connections,
Well, but maybe that
which
was-
he did not host.
Maybe
Connections
that was
cool.
a passion project. Maybe he really thought that aliens were real, and he was doing it just
He's
because
not Dan Aykroyd.
he's crazy.
Yeah. Dak Nanroid.
Hemorrhoids?
But yeah, like I feel like this episode overall was like it was just mostly like, oh wow, here's Mark Leonard and he's being amazing. Oh fuck me, it's Spock and he's Spock. He's Spocking around.
He was very Spocky.
He was
was,
Spocking
you know,
around. He's out of his Vulcan mind.
The little bit he does at the very end where he melds with Picard. There's that really
okay,
brief
that's-
flicker of like
Yeah, no, that was beautiful.
that was
Actually.
great.
Daddy.
That was
I actually
so
did
good.
love that piece. That was a nice bit. But that was basically it. I feel
Yeah.
like I spent, an hour and 38-ish minutes having to see Sarek die, and then having to watch Denise Crosby try to act. And then I got this one little piece of payoff at the end where Spock and Jean-Luc Picard, aka Daedalus,
I
had a
did
moment.
like whenever Data and Spock interacted. It was very much because they talked about how Data very much is like a Vulcan but wants to be human. Spock is part human but wants to be all Vulcan. It's cute. I really liked that.
Wants to be all Vulcan, or maybe a little bit android, I guess. I wonder if he got a little android in him, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
I am like, I kind of would have been bummed if this had been the send-off for Spock, the character, but I'm actually glad that they got to send him off in the wonderful film Star Trek Into Darkness instead.
Awesome.
God,
Actually,
you're
he's in all-
right.
No, he's-
Ooh.
No, he was dead.
Yeah, his picture is in the third one
Yeah.
because it's
But
like oh look at this.
everybody's pictures in the
But you know, I
Yeah,
mean,
but then Chekhov, poor Anton Yelchin.
so spoilers
talk
for
about it. It makes
Star
me so
Trek
upset.
Beyond. But I feel like that moment where they let Quinto Spock find out and just kind of like
Yeah,
have a moment it wasn't bad.
I didn't like it.
I like the moment where he finds the photo of the crew.
Oh, that's good.
And
Yeah, that was good.
And then that's a choke up moment.
I thought it was
And
cute.
Yeah, I thought, and we'll get to the. I'll probably say this again when we do Beyond. I thought the Quinto finding, learning of other dimensions, Spock's death
Ambassador Spock.
Yeah, was just fucking
Fan wank.
not even fan wank, but just we have to address this somehow.
they
Let's
did.
find a way to jam it in there so that the nerds know that we're aware he died.
Well, but they ended up kind of working it into the script. But again,
Yeah,
that's
it was
for
his
when we
reason
discuss.
for wanting to leave, and then it became his reason.
But
for
I got to
leaving.
admit, like, because I don't remember if I ever actually saw this one before, or if I did, I just kind of forgot all of it. If this was the last we had seen of Spock, that would have been kind of like, oh, this is dumb. He's just gonna go live on Romulus and like be a social studies teacher.
And the rest of the Romulans are going to crush that rebellion.
Oh, so
right?
fast.
Yeah, and
so
Immediately.
Where is it that Yoda lives? Dagobah?
Yeah.
You think Spock goes to live on Dagobah?
Yeah, that would
that.
work better for him.
Weren't they both? They were both Force ghosts in my story.
They
weren't
were.
Perfect. He does. He goes to Dagobah. Everything's fine.
It is nice to know, though, that the Romulans will all be destroyed in the next 20 years.
We're back.
Like they're gonna have to deal with that in the
Who's
Picard
back now,
series,
bitch?
right?
No, because he's not from that.
No,
but that's just it.
This timeline.
The prime timeline Romulus is the one that got blown up.
Oh shit.
They blew up Romulus in
Okay,
the
but
prime
this
timeline
is why
in
the
that
fourth
movie.
Star Trek movie is going to go back and fix it so that they can.
Oh, and
back and
undo,
use
yes,
the
like Jake's
Guardian.
theory.
Yeah, he's right. That's exactly what's going to happen, I bet. Because they're not going to want to do that shit in Picard, the series. The fans will ejaculate angrily.
No, I mean, they can do stories without the Romulans.
Oh yeah,
Or
or
have
that
the
could be
Romulans-
part of it.
Or have the Romulans be like a smaller fringe. group
Yeah, any of the
assholes.
Romulans that were in space at the time are still fine.
Oh yeah, and
Sela's still out there.
well, I mean, it just blew up Romulus.
Oh, God. Can you imagine if she comes back in the Picard series?
I hope she does, just to see the faces you guys
Specifically played by Denise Crosby.
make.
This is the face.
It has to be.
So,
But how do Romulans age as compared to humans? Because
I think
we know how they do with age makeup, right?
Yeah, just as
It's not gonna be
slowly.
good.
'Cause-
Yeah, so it's not going to be good.
well, I mean, they've also had 30 years to work on their age makeup, so
Also, Denise Crosby is older.
yeah.
No, but I'm saying she should not be so old.
Oh.
Sorry, I guess I was maybe young makeup is what I'm thinking of. She wouldn't be as much
Maybe it will
older
be
as
actual
Picard will be
Yar.
as much older. No, she's fucking dead twice now. Thank God.
well, now,
Sorry, Denise
Speaking
Crosby,
of,
but you are
changes
rubbish.
in the makeup.
Data's
can we
love
make
will bring her back.
Can I just make a point that like there is no way Spock would be able to blend in on Romulus because he has a flat forehead.
And really awesome blue eyeshadow
Well,
most of the time.
also, he's fucking Mr. Spock, one of the most famous people in space. My assumption is the only way this works is if, like,
they were all in it, just like how everybody was in on the moon landing being faked?
No.
Okay.
Is that the idea that he had defected was actually being spread around Romulus to explain why he was there? So that the general public thought, because I mean, it's like, he's just going around the street like, hi there, one of the most famous people in the Federation, how are you doing?
Do you
Finger
think,
guns.
Would Spock be famous on Vulcan? Do you think, like...
You mean Romulus?
Yeah.
He
on
wouldn't do
Romulus?
finger guns.
I don't
He's a
know about
pacifist.
that.
I mean, he's one of, he worked on the Enterprise. Like, I assume the people from the Enterprise are like,
I mean,
because Kirk's Enterprise like butted heads with the Romulans a lot.
Yeah, I'm
they
sure
stole
Kirk
a cloak.
is well known as a villain, but Spock was like a second player to that whole thing. I don't know if he'd also be recognized on set.
Romulan commander lady would recognize him.
Yeah. That thing. He's just
She
so
was hot.
He's so historically significant.
That's Enterprise incident, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and which was something I was thinking about. Like the this episode definitely had airs of Enterprise incident where we had the first officer. Well, not the first officer, but the Spock equivalent character and Picard dressing up as Romulans and going on a secret mission.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but dressing up and going on a secret mission has been like a theme of this show for the last couple seasons.
Well, so they're specifically Romulans.
It's also extra fitting because Mark Leonard played our first Romulan.
That's true, and he was so wonderful. Oh, Mark Leonard.
And of course, we had Stephen Root as a Klingon, which is still just so weird.
Yeah,
to
the
me.
Klingons were fucking weird this episode.
I liked him though. I liked his
he was
character.
great.
He was funny.
He was ridiculous. But again, he was just because I saw his name in the credits. It's like, who the fuck is Stephen Root?
Was he Kaveda?
He was the captain.
Yeah, Kaveda.
Like I thought, when they showed
Creveda Cravata.
Melchizedek
like when they showed the like
it's Hawaii's way.
the guy who ran the junkyard, it's like, oh, he'll surely be one of these aliens. And then there's the Catholic. Wait, no, that's it. Holy shit, that's weird.
Yeah. Another thing I liked that they did in this episode is they've really started to introduce the idea that Gowron is a shithead.
I liked that. I had a note saying, "Is Gowron worse than Duras?"
No.
He's being a dictator and rewriting their history.
Oh, see, I thought you were just gonna say he was being a dick.
He's also being a dick.
He's not a Duras though. Fuck the Durases.
I don't know.
They're Durasholes.
Yeah.
I'm curious how much more we're going to see of Gowron entirely ruining the fucking Klingon way.
But
with his crazy eyes.
I did like the scene of Picard handling that scenario.
Picard is so good at handling Klingons.
Yeah.
Like, they are just fucking putty in his hands. He's like, no.
Oh, yes. I love when they give him the bed. He's like, yup, I love sleeping on hard beds. That's fine. Give me some gah. The fresher, the better.
And the scene with Picard trying to sleep with Data there was just... It was silly, but...
Data, could you turn your eyes off?
Like, it was clearly padding, but it was still just funny. I'm not actually looking, sir. God damn it. Shut your eyes.
Lay back. Think of it.
Like, I should be like, Data, lie on the floor and pretend to sleep. While you're doing your thinking.
Why are they confined to quarters, or could Data have just left the room?
He could have, but he's Data. It didn't occur to him. I mean, he doesn't need to breathe. He could, like, chill out on the hull if he felt like it.
Ooh, he should.
It didn't really matter because they got called.
Yeah, they got
be their hood ornament.
Got a phone call about Sarek. Perrin was much better in this episode.
Yeah.
Like, I remember being slightly unimpressed with her in Sarek, but in this, I thought she really held her own much better.
Well, because she was also being very, like... I feel like when Sarek is with her, it's probably kind of unseemly for her to act out too much, but since he's basically in, like, I'm having lots of horrible emotions and dying a horrible, agonizing death, she feels more, like, comfortable whipping out the passion and emotion. And being
not just
that's
that.
my husband, for fuck's sake.
I just mean in general, I feel like the actor was just better.
And I loved her jewelry. Was it the same jewelry? I'm not sure, but it was another fantastic fucking statement piece.
You know,
I loved it.
I bet it was new.
I think it was the same necklace.
Was it? Why would they not? Because I feel like they're always breaking out new costumes.
They live on a fucking desert.
Similar.
How many nice, big, fucking pretty rocks do they have there?
You give the costumers a bunch of money, though, and you have to do something with it.
One thing that was funny was like, I can sometimes get through to him, and you're waiting for it to like, you know, maybe whip out some weird Vulcan meditation technique. Sarek! Wake up! You got company! Like, woman, what the fuck?
I finally got to sleep, you bitch.
That's like Like, they really made it like it was going to be this thing. She'd maybe, like, touch his
head
temple
and be
or-
like, my love.
Yeah.
Like, they'd have to do this finger thing
The
a little
weird-
bit
yeah.
to, like, try to get
But
him
no,
back
just
to life.
shout his name.
Yeah, it's the Vulcan version of
Show him a boob.
morning head.
Like that,
Wake
I
up
thought,
blowjobs.
unintentionally hilarious.
It was funny. I agree, especially because she literally was just like, Sarek! Yes. The whole thing. So
This
good.
is one of your wives. The most recent one.
And I also liked how I liked the little story that Sarek was telling about how Spock used to run off into the mountains.
Yeah.
Cry himself to sleep like a little bitch.
With his bear monster.
Yeah,
Sell it.
I wonder, like, it was obviously, kind of a reference to TAS.
Which is horrifying.
Yeah,
And awesome.
But it wasn't,
Oh, no, I know.
it wasn't,
It's just-
very...
Weird how they didn't mention Cybok at all while they were talking.
Well, he's a piece of shit.
He's dead.
Yeah, so, like, how
yeah,
many...
but he's a canon piece of shit.
How many of Kirk's, like, psyche STDs does Picard have now? Because Sarek and Spock have both separately mind-melded with Kirk.
Oh, God.
And both Spock and Sarek have now mind-melded.
There are
With
STDs.
Picard.
What are you doing?
Also, Sarek is kind of a mind-melding whore, because we know he did it with Michael, too.
Well, that saved her life, though.
And then to save his
Spoilers.
life.
I don't know
ultimately,
how
yes.
much, because it sounds like you don't get the full picture. You just get some stuff from
Yeah, well, it depends on the episode, it seems.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, well, Patrick Stewart, it seems like, got a full download.
Yeah.
He totally did. He did a complete backup.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, also, so at Spock, he's mind-melded with Kirk, with Bones. With
Florida, Van Gelder.
so, yeah.
The ship that time.
So at one point, Picard's like,
Nomad.
"Who the fuck is Plum?"
Nomad! Thank you. I was trying to remember Nomad's name the other
Yeah.
day for some reason.
Nomad.
I was talking to someone was asking if
Oh God,
if
Valeris.
they
This
had
unit is perfect.
the if they had the
Oh,
like
Valeris.
like the hover things that they carry Nomad around on. So he was
Yeah.
asking me if they had that yet in TOS, and I was like, oh yeah, they use it to get around that fucking robot. What's its name?
Yeah,
And
they
I
also
could not
use it
remember.
to carry the antimatter.
Yep, the big bowling ball.
Yeah, I mean, again, I knew the answer was yes. I just couldn't remember the name Nomad, so I had to just be like, yeah, because I said, yeah.
Oh dear.
I have a note in my notes.
What is it?
Great job. I am barely following this ship scavenger hunt.
Oh yeah, what a stupid! See, in the whole I
Yeah.
like the idea. I kind of liked the junkyard guy and his character.
Oh, he's a Packlin. Packlins are assholes. They're
No, he's not
crooks.
a.
He wasn't a
Zach
Packlin.
Dorn.
Zach Dorn. That's the
He was
one.
a Zach Dorn.
He probably thinks that having
Oh,
a
my
handsome woman
and
like
Worf
you around-
was like, "Oh, my brother Zach."
Ah.
I get it. 'Cause Michael.
But yes, I like he's probably right.
I thought that was cute.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I like the character. And
I'm really sexist.
I like when he's like, "You'd be surprised what I find on some of these ships."
He like whips out a fleshlight.
I've got to admit
Lot-
though.
was still in the packaging.
Lots of sex bikes.
I've got to admit though, for all that he was annoying and kind of creepy, I warmed him a little bit, and he's like, "Yeah, no, I nursed the eel back to health." So, no, he saved the eel.
I think he was just hitting on Troy.
Yeah, but he
Yeah, but
saved
he
an
probably
eel.
The
also did
eel
it.
is a metaphor.
Yeah, I was gonna say that actually means his dick.
Yeah.
He probably stroked it a lot.
How long
And
did he
by
say it
nursed it
was?
back
He
to-
said
14 feet.
Yeah, that's.
And by nursed it back
Did
to
he-
health,
did he
meant
say
got
14 feet?
Viagra.
Yes.
Yes, I believe it was 14
Why are they
feet.
measuring imperial units? Anyway,
That's a good
the
question.
Zach Dorn, a little behind the times. Must be descended from Americans. No, the other.
No, that's definitely the Packlets.
But yeah, can I just go in and just say how
Yes.
fucking okay? So Sela's grand plan here is to Trojan horse some invasion force onto Vulcan.
Like in a virus way?
By having
or like
a-
in a Odyssey way?
in an Odyssey way.
Okay.
Right. So the plan. Okay. So let me just summarize the plan.
Malware.
So
I thought we did.
This is the plan. She has
Seduced data.
She has stolen several ships, several Vulcan ships. She has created a holographic Spock to announce that he has negotiated a peace deal and that there'll be emissaries from Romulus showing up on Vulcan any day now and welcome them with open arms.
And the hologram was the backup plan in case they couldn't get the real Spock.
Yeah,
to do
because
it.
real Spock would totally go with that.
Logical.
And if they wanted him to go with that, why would they tell him the whole nefarious plot first?
That's a good question.
Why would they just let him think it was actually a peace deal.
Yeah.
Maybe they figured that he would realize that the logical thing was just to go along with it since he was going to...
But it would have made way more sense if they had continued to let Spock think
that they were there for
that
peace
that it
reasons.
was a peace mission.
Yeah.
Instead, she tells him the whole evil plot, and then it's like, so you want to help out? And
he's like, no.
No, I'd rather not.
No, you fucking idiot.
I had a lot of thoughts about how do they trust any messages, be they radio or video or people in front of you, to not be deceptions? Because we've seen people impersonate each other. We've seen people create robots that look like other people.
Yeah.
Or what have you. Like, how do they always know? And that's why you need a Troy around sometimes to say, that's the real one.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only real one. They're lying. He's not saying
Wow,
that.
too bad they never thought to make that the plot of more things. Then she would have been infinitely more useful.
I was almost expecting if they had used the
for
Spock
her to be
footage,
like, that's
for
not
her to
Spock.
say that's not a person. Captain or Riker or whoever's around right now, I'm being useful for a change. Give me an ice cream.
And then Sela would have been like, that's not a person, you fucking racist. And then she'd be like, no, that's not what I meant. And she would have lost all credibility and then gone to eat ice cream to make herself feel
She's
better.
going to eat ice cream regardless, so.
Her fucking track record on actually eating ice cream is like
Not great.
one out
for
of 5
10,
or
yeah.
something. Yeah.
But then, like, here's the other thing I don't get, right? So Spock is the only Vulcan that we know of on Romulus, right?
Mm-hmm. Half Vulcan.
Why would 3 Vulcan ships be the
Emissary?
the delegation
Convoy.
the
Convoy,
convoy
yeah.
bringing the delegation from wouldn't it even like would
Because
it just
they-
be Romulan ships?
They needed a reason for there to be that B plot.
Well, obviously, but Sela's plan is so fucking stupid. Because, like, if I was the Vulcans, I'd be like, it is illogical that Romulans would be sending their peace delegation on our ships.
On our ships and we happen to know these ships were stolen.
They're in a
from
junkyard somewhere.
These are decommissioned ships.
Well, they changed the transponder. Geordi wasn't even able to verify that.
Oh,
they
did
were
he?
actually-
Okay.
But they could still be like, okay, well, what are those ships? Hey, those ships are identified as the fuck face, the dick head, and
No, the T'Pau was destroyed.
that was
the T'Pau. I thought that was such a great nod.
No,
I like that too.
To
The
T'Pau.
T'Pau
Yeah.
was the ship. One of those was the T'Pau.
Yeah.
They just, for some reason,
Changed
removed its deflector array.
I'm guessing to salvage it. They probably didn't need it for that mission.
You need a deflector array in a ship.
But maybe that's why they were only going slow. I don't know. Whatever.
don't know.
Point is,
I got confused by all of
the
this,
point
as I said in
is-
my note.
It is pretty confusing.
Sela's bad, and she should feel bad.
She probably does.
And it didn't make a lot of sense. And I really thought that the wrapping everything up in the last 30 seconds by making her office smaller by several feet, which she apparently like.
Didn't
I'm pretty
notice?
sure if I walked into a room that I had been in moments before and it was several feet smaller, I'd pick up on.
Well, no, the thing she picks up on is, fuck, they're gone. And anything else is less important than, I have to deal with this potential crisis.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit convoluted.
It had to give us the Mos Eisley's cantina for no reason.
Yeah. Every time Star Trek tries to do a Mos Eisley cantina, it doesn't quite work.
Well, because you're just trying to do the Mos Eisley Cantina.
Yeah.
Basically,
The
yeah.
most Eisley cantina.
I mean, and I
Star
think,
Wars.
what her
I
name?
know.
Her name was Amory, that four-armed pianist.
Wow, her parents had a sick sense of humor.
She's an interesting character, but yeah, she does not, like, there's no reason to have all of this crammed in this episode.
I did like the titties on the Ferengi's friends.
How did they get away with that, by the way?
Delightfully.
The shitloads of underboob on that one of them?
Oh, I didn't even notice.
Oh, you didn't know? So her... She had,
Look it up.
She had
I mean, I know she had lots of
big
tits.
jugs.
Just look up Omog, because he's with the two women.
So she had big jugs, and then her shirt only covered the nipple from the top, and there was nothing below.
OMOG?
OM.
The
And the other
Australian
one-
cleavage, as it were.
Oh, it was...
Not my term.
Prime time.
Australian cleavage.
Like the Klingon, the Klingon boob window has nothing on the Ferengi top underboob window.
Oh
the
no!
Ferengi's concubine.
All I'm getting is really bad like CG pictures of him. No, I.
But then again, if he's a Ferengi, why were the women clothed at all?
Because
prime time?
Because he's on a planet that doesn't allow that, maybe?
Why can I not find the tits?
There's some tits.
Which one is it? Is it
The
this
one in
thing?
the gold. The one that was an alien.
Was Omag wearing a false belly?
It kind of looked fake.
Seemed like it might have been,
If he's supposed to be, the fat Ferengi, why not just cast a fat actor?
I mean, remember that time they used age makeup on a character we never saw young instead of just hiring an old person?
Remember that time there was a thin guy in a fat suit in a local production of a show about a fat guy?
No.
Remember that one
What
time
show?
at band camp?
The Whale.
Oh, I didn't see the whale.
Oh, when I put that flute in my pussy?
That's the one.
I remember, yeah, that was a great
But yeah,
summer.
no, they make some weird choices sometimes as far as like it's like
they
this.
often have great casting for weirdos, and this guy was like, yeah, he's a weirdo, but I don't know why you
A
picked
flute
this
seems
weirdo.
like it has an awful lot of like valves and sharp. Like I don't know.
Sharts?
No, like have you ever seen a flute? Like all the valves. And
Oh,
stuff
we're talking
on the
about
flute,
flutes again.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
They don't look like it would be comfortable.
You think I have a clarinet?
No, flutes.
No,
got
flute's got a
valves.
lot of
Valves and levers and things on it.
That's true, they do, yes. Yeah, you would think like
A drum
an oboe
stick.
or a trombone
No,
or-
there's also
No, you don't want any instrument inside of you, basically.
speak for yourself. One.
Harmonica.
I think anyone's ever played a harmonica
bugle
by
has no
weeping.
valves on it, and when you finish, it'll make a triumphant sound.
Amazing.
Or
much
if you queef.
like the
I was
Klingon
gonna say, or
opera.
if you put it up your ass.
That's true.
Anyway.
A bosun's whistle.
Anyway.
Why? What do you have? You have a
What's
note?
what's your problem?
No, I don't know. I just want to change the
We're
subject.
getting pretty blue. We usually do.
Blue.
But yes, the Klingon opera was
It's hip to
fun.
be a bear.
Klingon opera. What else was in that scene? Yeah, we met the Ferengi. I mean, there wasn't a ton. It was basically a scavenger hunt. It was
Yeah.
like, we gotta go meet all these zany characters to make this show interesting.
That's not how scavenger hunts work, games.
Isn't it?
It is in this show.
I mean, this was
Usually you're looking for things, not people, but I was really
And-
just busting your
Well,
balls.
they were
and
looking
it
for a
really
ship.
and the thing that's worse, that's bad about the B plot, the thing that really does it in is that at the end of the day, it has no bearing on the outcome because
Yeah. None whatsoever.
Nothing that the Enterprise crew did had any, like, everything was solved for Romulus.
That's a problem with a lot of TNG B plots, though. Is like they have a B plot that does sort of dovetail with the main plot, but doesn't actually matter.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But at least usually the B plot is a complete story in itself.
True.
In this case, that story has really no ending. Because
Yeah.
they reach the end of the trail, which takes them to the Galorndon Core!
I thought of you as soon as it happened. I was like, oh,
She loves
it's
Galorndon.
It
Jake.
takes them to Galorndon Core! Geordie's favorite place to visit.
Oh yeah.
And
His
and
friend
then
may be
they
there.
get the phone call
Bokra.
from Spock that's like, hey, I'm fake Spock. Check it out. We're gonna send an invasion force.
Check it out.
Yeah, and like fucking Sela, so fucking dumb. Yeah. Oh, they'll try to get us off of Vulcan, but once our 2,000 guys are there, we'll be so entrenched they'll never get rid of us. No, I'm pretty sure like a small police force could drop in and just take all your guys out, and unless they're like super soldiers.
No,
Or something.
that's Khan, and he's dead.
And like, why would you unless, like, if you're gonna send an invasion force, send one ship that has like the delegation, and just have like 40 cloaked warbirds flying, warhorse.
Oh, wait a
flying
minute.
behind it.
Wait. Maybe it makes sense.
Birds of prey.
Hold on. I got it. It's still stupid, but I think maybe the peace delegation there, well, peace delegation in scare quotes, only had these 2,000 people, right?
Okay.
So they beam down, and they're like a quick and dirty strike force. They hit certain key targets. We don't know how many Romulan ships were cloaked, chilling out by the peace force.
Well,
They could have a whole secondary invasion wave ready to go.
See, that's the thing about the cloaking device, and why the cloaking device ruins plots.
So you're saying it's a good cloaking device, but a bad plot device.
It's a bad plot device because the cloaking device exists, and at least so far in TNG, short of the tachyon grid net or whatever the fuck,
Yeah.
Guys, that was a perfect plan.
it is completely undetectable.
Yeah.
Which means that at any time, the Romulans could take over any planet in the Federation.
Well,
or
it's not just
strike any target or any number of targets.
The Klingons can apparently just park right outside Romulus, and no one realizes
just park
they're
up there. They can even use their communication system.
Yeah, to piggyback off it.
I like that Data learned a new word in vernacular that the Klingons didn't. And I'm sure it's because of the translator, that the translation wouldn't work for them.
Yeah,
what the fuck does that mean, Data?
You know,
it
the pig on the back.
Yes.
When the walls fell.
That's the Temerian, yeah.
Could we piggy targ?
But that's a metaphor, right? That's an example of our own Temerian language.
Oh, yeah. That is probably what he would have said. Targback. What? Targyback. Here's a question. So Spock wants to unify Romulus and Vulcan.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking why? They're two entirely disparate cultures. They've been apart for thousands of years at least. And the Romulans tend to be assholes.
Because apparently there's already a nascent movement there anyway. So
just bring those guys. Let them fucking be refugees on Vulcan. It's fine.
Well, we've been told so far, and I still have my doubts about this, that the Romulans broke off from Vulcan. Whereas I think it's far more likely that the Vulcans broke off from Romulus. And that is just a
story they tell.
Another Vulcan lie.
They don't lie.
Because there's no way you're getting a civilization such as the Vulcans evolving on the planet Vulcan, which all we've seen of it is desert and mountains. Whereas Romulus looks like an Earth-like planet where you could expect a hominid species to evolve.
There could have been some kind of disaster on Vulcan.
Something could have exploded
They
and knocked it further away from the sun.
They did have a gigantic fucking war.
Yeah, I'm going to say that Romulus is where the Vulcans started. They were probably a fringe sect of Romulus, and the Romulans were like, you know what, Vulcans, we're going to persecute the shit out of you. We're going to, maybe there
Hop in your Mayflower and get out.
Exactly.
I was going to say, like the Pilgrims.
Yeah, there was I'm guessing that the Vulcans pilgrimed their way out of there, and all of the nascent movement on Romulus to re-embrace Vulcanism is more just, remnants of the Vulcan cult that was on Romulus
the ones that
hundreds of years ago, trying to, because I cannot picture how this happens. I cannot picture how the Vulcans would have evolved on what we have seen of Vulcan. There could be other places, but it makes less sense to me. It makes more sense to me that they started on Romulus and got persecuted enough that they Mayflowered themselves off to another planet.
Nah, it has too much tinfoil for me to embrace. It's too crinkly.
I like it because why did the Romulans leave Vulcan? Because they were the ones that didn't change.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, I always just assumed that they left because they were like, we want to have fun, and the Vulcans were like, fuck you, and they were like, all right, peace.
Yeah, it didn't change.
I don't buy it.
I think it's still conceivable the planet got badly fucked up by their nearly destroying themselves before they embraced logic.
Here was the problem. The Romulans didn't quite have 2,000 people in their corner, so there was no way that they could throw out the Vulcans.
Because, we're told that, before we were, we embraced logic, we were a warlike race. We were irrational. We were very much like humans. We had wars amongst ourselves. We had wars with other people. We were just war. Well, who does that remind you of? The Romulans. So the Romulans weren't like a group that broke off from the Vulcans to re-embrace.
They were their last common ancestor. And I think
it is tinfoil, but I'm gonna stick to it.
It's cool. I like the crinkle of your tinfoil hat.
The idea of also like what's the guy's name? Sarek's the one who comes up with the Vulcan philosophy to be logical and peaceful and all this bullshit. Like that probably doesn't take off so quickly that the Romulans couldn't have just squashed it.
Yeah, but if it started out as like a cult on Romulus, that it was a Romulus. The name comes from the Romans. There was a cult that took root in Rome around
0 BC.
Well, it was a little later than that.
Oh,
it was
God, no. Let's not tie this back to
100,
circuses.
150 AD.
You're not a sun worshiper?
Thereabouts. And at first they tried to squash it by, putting the followers of it into the arena to fight lions and shit. I don't know if that's apocryphal or not, but they definitely did crucify Christians, so that's true.
They did.
You like the cross so much, huh?
How do you marry it?
This is what you get for worshipping false idols, bitch.
But then eventually they did the Roman Empire, because they had a Christian emperor at one point. It was like, oh, I guess we'll embrace this.
No one was allowed to have fun for 2,000 years.
But Romulus...
Fun is overrated.
Romulus specifically is the name of one of the twin boys who founded Rome in myth that, like, fed at the teat of a wolf.
Wow, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
And one of them was like, it's illogical to drink wolf milk, and the other one was like, get the fuck out. And that was how Romulus and Remus did, and the Vulcans.
But yeah, so I don't know.
Remus moved into a cave and got all...
Then Remus became a moon.
Yes. Which moon? Whose planet's moon is Remus?
Romulus.
Oh.
Yeah, no, there's not actually a room.
Oh, I thought you meant IRL, because there's lots of, like, Cerberus and...
Io and all this other jagassery.
But yeah, so I don't know. I think it makes sense.
That's why you gotta learn Latin. It's what the fucking Romulans speak.
And it's totally the kind of thing that the Vulcans, what we know of them, is totally the kind of thing that they would reinterpret in their recorded history to make themselves seem the better.
Yeah, no, still don't buy it. Sorry.
Well, I'd like to subscribe to your newsletter, Jake.
It's mostly brown eye jokes.
That's probably true.
What's wrong with that?
Send it to Caitlin.
Send it to me. I'm the co-editor.
Hey. I don't know if there's anything else really about Unification.
It was too long. It was mostly fan wank. There were some good performances, but overall disappointing.
And again, Sarek is dead. What a shitty send-off for Sarek.
And he'll never know what happened with Spock, which is sad.
That's what happens. You die not knowing shit.
Yeah. But we will see Spock again.
See Spock run.
When we get to the Kelvin timeline.
When we get to Kelvin. So
Doesn't count.
this is basically the end. This is, for all intents and purposes, the end of Spock as we know him.
In this universe, yes.
But we do meet him again in the Kelvin timeline.
And we'll see footage of him in No More Tribbles, More Troubles, or whatever the fuck it's called.
Trials and Tribulations.
There it is. Oh yeah, that was the TAS episode, wasn't it?
Yes.
There we go.
Mode, money, mo problems.
All right. So, I guess that's all we have to say about Unification and the game. Next time on A Star to Steer Her By, we're going to be discussing 2 new episodes of Star Trek The Generation Next.
Generation Next.
Yeah. Spice Girls.
Totally relevant reference.
We've made it before.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Anyway, on Generation Next, we'll be talking about 2 episodes. First, A Matter of Time. A Matter of Time. What's the matter? Time. A Matter of Time. Followed by New Ground. That is New Ground. Newgrounds.com. Lots of Flash games.
Lots of stuff we thought was funny back in the day that would probably be really, really frowned upon these days.
Probably. But whatevs. It's not E-Bomb's world.
What is it,
and so it's
Blackface?
fine. No, just like Flash. It was mostly Flash content.
Oh, yeah. You know what I was thinking of E-Bomb's world?
E-Bomb's world was fucked up.
Always.
Newgrounds had like
always
games that
off-color
were
stuff.
Yeah. And E-Bombs was a celebrated like free jack. It's not a free jack. That's a movie with
Face Off.
Emilio and what's his name? Not Keith Richards, the other one. Anyway,
Mick Jagger.
Mick Jagger. That's right.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Sweet.
So, we'll be covering those. In the meantime, make sure to catch up with us on Twitter and Tumblr. SSHB Podcast, the name. Don't wear it out. No, do wear it out. Go there as many times as you want. It's on the internet. You can also find our website, which is just a link to the Tumblr. So why am I even saying it? I don't know.
Because you should change it into an actual website.
SSHBpodcast.com. That's SSHBpodcast.com. As well as on Facebook. Search for A Star to Steer Her By. You're sure to find us. As well as on Twitter and iTunes and Google iTunes. Fuck. Damn it. Google iTunes. Shit. iTunes and the Google equivalent of iTunes.
Google Play.
Google Play Tunes.
No, just Google Play.
Google Play Tunes.
Play Tunes. Google.
Playcast. Podcast shops. Go find us in those places as well. And
is it like Mario 3 when you go into one of the little mushroom huts and Toad's like, pick a box?
It is.
No. Pick a box!
Wow, that was...
Well, and send us your thoughts about whether or not the Vulcans broke off from the Romulans or the Romulans broke off from the Vulcans. And we will continue this debate, I am sure, at some time in the future. I think that's all I've got. So my name has been Jake.
This has been Chris.
This has been Ames.
And this is always Caitlin.
And Justice had to leave. Sorry.
And Justice
Bye,
is gone.
Justice.
Justice is gone now.
The injustice of it all.
It is very unjust.
Go
Unjust.
follow the Mr. Mobile
Unjust.
on YouTube.
Oh yeah, follow the Mr. Mobile on YouTube and whatever else he does. He's got a baby.
Justice.
Catch you on the flip side, team. Bye-bye.